Hi, this is Joe with J. Alexander Roofing. I'm here at Martindale Road, Bowling Green, Ohio. And I'm here today performing a video inspection of the roof. All right, we're gonna start with the most glaring area down here. We've got an active leak. It's leaking on the inside, so we know there's issues. Someone's came through and made an attempt to fix this valley. There's so much tar and caulking right now, I can't really break loose and see what's going on. This flashing was added later. It's still soft, it's still leaking, and then this valley must have just been improperly installed. And then the other thing is that we're fighting. We've got 2 layers of shingles on here. So when you get to these really thick areas where you're already overlapping the valleys, we end up with some nail pops. So between nail pops, nail heads actually coming through the shingles, and then just improper install, it looks like we've definitely got some leaking issues on this valley. Recommendation for this valley is take it apart and replace it. It does get kind of tricky because you've got 2 layers on there, so that's when we start balancing. Do we redo the slope or just redo the valley and kind of redo it the wrong way again? These pipes are all installed wrong. So in theory, we could be leaking on this pipe and it could be getting down this valley and leaking. You got 3 pods on here. They're installed properly, and the rest of the penetrations and flashings pretty much on the entire roof are installed wrong. So what they did when they redid this roof, they just ran up and shingled right around them. So water is getting invited under the shingles, and it's not right. It's not properly installed, and that goes for all of these vents that are on the old 2-layer part of the roof. This pipe right here doesn't even really have a flashing on it, so that's an improper install. That vent's wrong. This power pole mast is wrong. And these aren't my opinion. When you shingle any of these pipe flashings in there, you have to get shingles up under it at some point so it sheds the water. It gives it the shingle effect. They just went right up and over it, and it's just not probably done, so it's going to be leaking. Plus that one's just completely worn out. The shingles themselves, the homeowner or the person living here right now was thinking it's about 10 years old. So the shingles themselves aren't in that bad a shape. It's just unfortunate that you put a good certainty 30-year product over this and you start ending up with stuff like this. So there's widespread nail pops across the roof. Now that it's dried out, I was here a couple days ago, but now that it's dried out, I can really start to tell this stuff. And what happens is, if you're gonna do the wrong thing, which is putting a laminated shingle on top of another layer of shingles, creating 3 to 4 layers, you gotta do it right. You gotta invest in some longer nails. So if you just use the inch and a quarter nails, you start to get areas like this. They just pop through. Those nails need to penetrate the entire roof deck, and they're probably not doing that now. I'm gonna find some more of that when I get up in the attic. But a good way to tell this, aside from just getting up here and scouting around like I am, just look up at these shingles, and you see the raised shingles here and there. Those are nail heads starting to work through the roof. So it's not a question of if that's going to cause this to fail. It's a question of when it's going to cause it to fail, because we already have all these areas where the nails are working their way back up through, and they're pushing the shingles up. They're going to eventually penetrate the shingle, like right here. They're going to eventually penetrate the shingle, and it's going to be a hole directly through the shingle into your attic, and it's going to start causing leakage. Aside from that, the one thing I do want to talk about is the chimney. We need a diversion saddle behind it right now. Someone had to come through here with tar and just try to conceal this leak, and there's areas where I can stick my fingers right into this flashing. So at a minimum, to make this chimney serviceable, we need to build a chimney saddle behind it, or diversion saddle, or cricket. This mortar cap's all busted up, as you can see, and then this needs to be tuck pointed, because right now structurally it's still in good shape, but as you can see, a lot of the tuck pointing has eroded away. So if this isn't nipped in the butt now, it's going to cause this entire chimney to be defective, and the integrity of it's going to be compromised. It's no longer going to be safe. It's going to have to be torn down and rebuilt. Aside from that, same with these. It looks like the gaskets are broken, so they're all fogged up and stuff like that. That's kind of nitpicking, I guess. You got a seam right above this. That's not good. There seem to be kind of flashing a little bit better, but not ideal. The one thing I want to talk about is the shed roof back here. Once again, this next thing I point out is these aren't really just my opinion or me nitpicking somebody else's work. You have to stagger these seams. So if we just start right here, you've got all these staggers lining right up on top of each other. That's not good. So those would probably be actively leaking, and we're just relying on the felt paper below it to keep it out. But you cannot stack seams right on top of each other like that. They have to be staggered at least 4 to 6 inches. This side's a little bit better, but you know, when I look into it, we do have seams pretty close to each other. So this is just all install over here. There's only one layer shingles over here. They're not in that bad of shape, but the install, especially on this side towards the house, leaves a lot to be desired, and it is going to be a problem. Joe with J. Alexander Roofing performing a video inspection. I'm gonna look around the attic, then I'm gonna provide these guys with a write-up as well, but this video is pretty telling, and for the most part should make things pretty clear. Thank you.